Well, last time we did one of these, it was this DLC. And we knew we were getting mansions, but we didn't know the extent of the expenses that will have to be made. And Rockstar are confirming that with this DLC. Are they even giving creators 20 million? By the way, I haven't got that. Rockstar, if you could give me 20 million in GTA, that would be great. But before we had such little information, and as I've guessed in the last price prediction, Rockstar have confirmed that it will be like the penthouse. There will be extra rooms, but will they come at additional cost? Now in this video, I'm going to be discussing if these are optional extras. I want to put a disclaimer there. Maybe maybe we might get the house, let's say for 10, 12, 15 million, and we get everything included. We get all the driveway, the garage, everything included. I'm leaning more of the side of we're not, and there's going to be things that cost an optional extra. And that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the price of the mansions now that we know where they're located, the price of the additional extras like the security, the garage, the wall art, and then we're going to be talking about the cars as well and how much they cost. Because as Rockstar said, we do have some exquisite cars. They're not going to come at a cheap price. So it could well be that you get everything included, but the majority of us do think that all these things will be an optional extra at a cost. Or maybe half the things will be included and half won't. So let's go ahead and calculate how much we think this will cost. Okay, let's look at the first mansion, which will be the existing Devon Weston's mansion. And we know that because Rockstar said withdraw to Tongva Hills, which, yeah, the original Devon Weston's, one of them, unfortunately, will be same Devon Weston's house, the exact one. Now, I do think the price of this has slightly changed in my opinion. I think this will be the low tier one, and it will be 7 to 9 million. I think that's what they'll charge for this. I see a lot of people getting upset, but I do think they'll change a bit here. I think they'll change a bit of landscaping. For some reason, this gate just keeps bugging out. Sometimes it's missing, sometimes it's not. So, you know, one of the mansions are the one that's existing, and I don't think anyone's gonna buy this one. Rockstar's right, it does have great views of the Pacific Ocean, but yeah, let's go to the next one. These are the base prices, not after the optional extras, which I will go through. Now we have area number 2, which I think would be the mid-tier mansion. Now this one will be around 9 to 12 million, I think. Again, 0 upgrades, base price when you are here. So when your mansion is here, it's going to be at this eye level. So this is the Richmond one, and the view here, you'll get a view of the racetrack. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this, even though it's not in front of the Vinewood sign, may be my most preferred view. It's in Richmond, and I think it's the most reasonable area for a mansion. I think it looks correct. It works geographically in real life. Yeah, it just makes sense. Now going to the final one, which I think is still going to be the most expensive because of where it's located. Yeah, the final mansion in Vinewood Hills. The construction is a lot bigger, and I don't think that indicates the mansion will be bigger in scale. I am expecting this to be 11 to 14 million. Now, if we calculate the height and we have a look at the view of the place, some people may find that view a lot more attractive. You've got the city in the background. Definitely at sunset, this will go crazy. And access is so easy, especially, you know, when we spend most our time around here. It's not too far away. You guys let me know, if the price wasn't a thing, which one would you choose? And don't say Devon Weston's, because I will not take that seriously. Okay, I've took a lot of time putting some educated guesses into this because a lot of people have an idea of everything being an optional extra. Now, I'm going to tell you here, I don't think there's much optional extras except the garage, and I think we're all going to get a driveway. And that's because after a lot of thinking, if we are able to adjust this driveway or even customize it or even change the color, let's say, of the fences, then how would that work in a GTA Online session? People wouldn't fly over and then the mansion just changes to another person's decor. Like, it won't just change from player to player to player, whoever's in there. So I think everyone will get the same layout of that certain driveway. This one is the Richmond one. I don't know how the security will work. Maybe this is just a cutscene, but there is security in this image, and I think that security is an option. So first of all, I think that's free. I think the outdoor space is also free. I think it's not going to change. The yoga place, I think, is going to be free, and it may be in a cutscene. So it wouldn't make sense if they add it into a cutscene and then your mansion doesn't even have a yoga area. I think the pools outdoor are free. So yeah, the hot tub, the gym, and the doghouse, which I couldn't really find in the image. Let me know if you can find the doghouse, because all these pictures are from the mansion we do see, the Richmond one. If this is going to be laid out how I think it's going to be laid out, where all this is going to be a community shared area, I'm going to hate the person who griefs the dog. There'll be that one guy who makes sure the dog is extinguished. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I found the doghouse. It's over there. So my only expense, I think, that in this group of screenshots is the garage. Now, what do I think the garage will cost? If this is what I think it is, and the cars are laid out how I think they are, which is the Vinewood garage, this should be a 20 car garage. Now the Vinewood one is a 100 car because there's 5 floors of this 20 car area. Now from the trailer, we can kind of see there may be a 15 car garage each, because you can see 7 cars and then a podium car. And then it may be the same on the other side, 7 more cars. So we have a 15 to 20 car garage on one floor. I think there will be multiple floors. I'm not sure if Rockstar will go up to 100. But I'm saying this garage will be about 2.5 million. I know seems crazy, but I think we're going to get like 1 floor for free because it'll be a city to give us a mansion without a garage. And then I think extra space will cost a rooftop helipad. Now again, I find it hard to believe that this will just be a space that transforms when a GTA player gets close to it. So I do think this will be free. Let me know if you think I'm wrong on this concept. If you think Rockstar will change it, or you have an idea of how Rockstar will change it. But I do think in the inside part of what's not visible from outside and is not a shared area will be an expense. I can see the nightclub being 1.5 million. I can see this security team, which it's hard to estimate this when you don't know what the extent is of their job. Like, is it like Merryweather? Do they shoot people? Is it like a passive mode area and you can't bring guns there? So because they are standing outside, this could be free. But if it's an option, I don't think it'll be a cheap option. At a minimum of 1.5 million if it is an option. The art room with the GTA 4 map on the left is pretty cool. I think this one is an optional extra that I don't think I will be purchasing unless everything turns out to be so much cheaper than we think. I think we're looking at 500,000 for this art display room. There's not much in it, and this looks like a customizable centerpiece. The master and guest bedroom, I don't think it will be 200k like the penthouse. I think we're going to be looking at a bit more than that. I think they will charge 350,000. You can't really do much in the bedrooms but sleep. And then we have a relaxing lounge area with a piano extra, which again I don't think is individually customizable. I think you just change the decor. I can see like a white piano in a certain decoration. I think another 250,000. The cozy cigar room. I don't know who's buying this, but the person who has too much money in GTA. But it's cool that this room actually has a little tiny window, like a basement window. I think 500k. I think that's what Rockstar are going to do. The office, if we're minusing the decorations, I think this is free. This is just a normal part that you have to get because this is where you start your missions from. The trophy room. I don't know what trophies you can actually get here, but it's definitely a new concept to me. And I can't really put a price on this one. Like, will it be necessary for this DLC to have trophies because you earn trophies that are displayable? Or are these going to be physical versions of the awards we already get in GTA Online? Let's say it was the second option. I think this will be like 1 million. That would be so cool to show your awards as physical trophies in GTA Online. The secure vault, I think this one's going to be another one which is going to be a flex. Maybe you can get all your earnings from all the safes around the map into one area that will be inside your mansion. If that is the case, I think this will be a 1.5 to 2 million extra. The private salon, I think a 500k price tag. And remember, these could all be free. This may be a DLC with no optional extras. A lot of these might not be optional extras. Find it hard to believe that they'll add a cinema room without an extra fee. That I can see being 750k. We have living space, which looks accessible to only you. We've seen this before with the penthouse where you can see outside and you can see what's going on, but players can't see you inside your property. The podium vehicle I'll add to the cars at the end. Armory, 500k. Arcade, 1.25 million. And the vehicle workshop. Will they add this as an extra cost? I think this will be a part of the extended garage option that I mentioned earlier. And if you do extend your garage, they will throw this in. Right, let's talk about these cars, and I'm going to start with the cars that I already mentioned previously. And this FMJ Mark V, I still think will have an outrageous price. I think it'll still be 3.45 million with an optional HSW price of 1.5 million. I know it sounds crazy, but I think this will be one of the more expensive cars that I've ever came into GTA Online. The next car that I previously talked about, which is a Daytona and a mix of old classic Ferraris, I still think again will be the same price as what I thought. I think a 1.95 million price tag is what Rockstar will put it up for. Now the Mission X, which we do have better images of, there we are, I still think will cost around 2.95 million. I'm not the most excited about this vehicle. I'm most excited about the E39 that we're about to look at, which is here, the E39. Now, if we do go on to Legendary Motorsports and we look at the highest priced 4-door vehicles and we see the price of the 4-door vehicles, I think it will be below the Sentinel GTS, and I still stick with the 1.85 million that I predicted in my last price predictions video. If we do go looking at this picture from the trailer, you can see that FMJ Mark IV has a HSW badge there, and the new Porsche has a HSW badge there. So they're two of the confirmed HSW cars. I think 1.5 million extra for both. And it seems like Rockstar are bringing a few Ferraris in, because here we have a mixture of old Ferraris. And it seems from here, the Ferrari GTS Turbo will cost 2.1 million. We do see that 928 again, not the 944 Resto mod type car, which is shown here. And yeah, it's a modernized Resto mod or render. And I still think it has a lot of inspiration from that 944 Turbo RS. I think we're looking at a price around 2.2 million. It's getting heavily expensive now when you're adding all these cars together. Now here, the cars at the back, which are super blurred, it looks to be an Astron custom, but the Astron doesn't have a badge here. So this may be a new DBX that we're getting as a new SUV. And if we are, I think we're going to have a silly price tag of about 2.3 million for that. And I think it will be another HSW car to compete with the Astron custom, but at a way heavier cost. At the back here, I'm not going to make any guesses on prices because I'm not 100% sure what it is. To me, it looks armored, but that could just be an illusion. Now, one thing I'm thinking is this DLC may have new wheels. As you can see, custom tires, and it looks to be a new wheel layout, but I'm going to be silly if I'm trying to pick out stuff from this blurred image. And I tried to initially depict that from the Bivonite and the wheels on there, but all these new autonomous Bivonites have the same wheel. A vehicle that I don't think you need to be able to purchase, but then further questions my wheel add-on features. Will they have a new category? I don't really know, because that looks like a very specific wheel for these groups of Bivonites. But I think this is a vehicle that, yeah, won't be for sale. So at the end there, we're coming to a conclusion of the best of the best. If you get the best mansion, you get all the upgrades, the best decor. I'm estimating altogether 27.1 million, which is not too crazy when you consider the cars. Because adding the cars all together, and I'm not including the one that I didn't figure out at the end, the black SUV, and just the cars cost 19.85 million. Including the HSW upgrades. So it's crazy to think that 27.1 million is just a mansion, and if you want every car that's in this trailer, not every single car that's coming to the DLC, altogether the DLC will cost around 47 million. I thought I was fine with 30 million. I don't think I am fine with that anymore. I'll have to cut corners some places. I may have to get Devon Weston's mansion. Thank you all for watching. See you guys later.